Hey folks, well, Google deleted my part one video from everywhere. Don't know how it did that, unless it was me. So I'm having to do part one again, which is basically um, showing my harmonica collection of about 10. The oldest, I think, is this one called Fifth and Drum Band. Made in Saxony, registered trademark. Saxony, I'm assuming, is the UK or Britain. FA Balm. When I got this, it did not work at all. I think it's from around the 1900s, something like that. Obviously, I'm going to have to Google for more information and to find out exactly what dates are. So obviously, I've already taken this apart, checked it all out, made sure it worked. Once I put it back together. So what I'm doing is going through them. I bought these for under $10 each, or as combined as damaged goods, basically. So the Olympia I'm doing here, this one, was squashed and dented in. This is the fascia for this part where the reeds are, which is those brass bits you see here, and the core is mostly timber, or is timber on this one, and the fascia is nailed into the sides of this. The example of the dent would be similar to that, or a little bit worse. The worst one I had was this one. It was non-functional, completely squashed. I've got it all out and squared. Still needs a little bit of TLC to get some of those ripples out. Looks like I forgot to oil that, which means I'm going to have to remove that rust. I think the core is Bakelite on this, which means it's probably from the 50s or 60s. An later one, Yamaha plastic core, fascia, chrome metal, thin obviously. I think this is 70s or 80s, which means I'm using this piece of timber and the back of my knife handle, because the blade doesn't go all the way through, and these almost toothless flat pliers that don't leave marks, to get the dents out of these fascia. In the second video, you'll see that these haven't been cleaned. I have now cleaned those with some very soapy steel wool. I will oil these. The screws that were used on this are all different sizes, but I've got some brass ones that are about 30 years old, as I said in the second video, because I was cut off with the first one and I'm redoing this one. Anyway, these all have some sort of damage or they need cleaning, like the butterfly harmonica. This one's actually made in occupied Japan, which means it was made between 1945 and 1950 something. And I have this wooden core. This one's made in Shanghai, China. This one's called the Hero Harmonica. It's got M1, or it's either 1 or an I, 202. Harmonica reeds on this one is also brass and it's screwed together. One of my favorites harmonicas, which I've also started to get rid of some of the dings in it. It's got a little bit of a ripple there. Needs some oiling. This has a slider, they call it, I think, to change the tone or the pitch. This backing is so you can put it on a bracket that either sits on your chest or around your neck. The box on that needs cleaning as well as restoring, which I haven't done yet. I will most likely use either tissue paper, arts craft paper, or rice paper. If I've got any rice paper left, I'll probably use that. So yeah, these still need some going over. I mean, this Olympia is made in Germany. You can see the rust there. This one has a reasonably good core, mostly functional, I think, as in the part 1. Part 2 video will show. This one is a small one, obviously, Percalo, I think it's pronounced, and this is by M. Honer, a good brand. Made in Germany, this one. I think this one actually's got some French on it as well. But this is for part 1, so the date on this will be the same still, the 5th or the 4th, 2023. However, it will be 2:48 p.m., which means this should be 2 instead of 1, but it's 1. So this is part 1, so the time stat will be in the future rather than the past. Sorry about that. Thanks for watching. Hi folks, this is part 2 for the harmonicas, because I'm still figuring out this phone and storage, and Google apps keep on interfering with the function of the phone and what I want to do. So it's now 1:29 p.m. 5th of April 2023. And what I was trying to explain earlier is that I've had these nails, brass nails, small ones, I think they're 5 to 10 mils in length, about 1.5 mils wide. Had these for 30 years or so, and they're not something you can just go into a hardware shop and buy, especially at Bunnings. Another favorite harmonica of mine is this Bandmaster Deluxe Chromatic. It has a valve or a slider to change the pitch. I can play a little bit, obviously. Meaning I can make a sound and it sounds all right. Yeah, so some of the tools I'm using, pair of pliers that have basically very, very small teeth or none at all, which means they very rarely create a pinch. These are antique as well, obviously. I like antique tools because they last forever, basically, if you look after them. So, I mean, I think this is actually a Chinese one. Yeah, it's from Shanghai, China. And this one is M12, I think, 02, or it's an I202 that has got on there. Don't know if you can see that. This also has a timber core. It's called a harmonica. It's got Chinese fonts, language fonts on it. Don't know if you can see that either. So obviously I like the screw-on ones because, you know, it's easier to take apart and clean. Obviously this needs cleaning. So yeah, this one's symphonic, I think it's pronounced, butterfly harmonica, made in occupied Japan, which means from 1945 to 1950 something, when the Allies were in Japan. So this is an old harmonica. I mean, I could get more information later on and just Google the information for more details about these harmonicas. These are just part of my collection. This one was the most damaged. as you can see by the ripples in it. I did use timber to remove. It was so badly squashed, this one, you couldn't play it, couldn't use it. It's better than it was. I mean, it was so badly buckled, I had to use a little tiny bit of heat. Type of heat I'm talking about is like a heat gun or a hairdryer type heat. No bare flame. And straightened it out. That's how badly squashed this one was. And I think the core on this is Bakelite, I think. So this one will probably be the 50s or 60s, since I think it's Bakelite. And it says made in Germany, Democratic Republic. Looks like it has some sort of French on it. Down there. I think it says Fabricat in jar. But it says Germany, so that's odd. But I mean, I forgot to oil this, so that's my fault with the rust. It means I'm going to have to remove all that and give it some oil. And this one needs to be done as well. Because as I said, these were all crushed. All the fascias for the decor for these harmonicas, most of them are crushed or damaged in some way, or the packaging, like the packaging on this one has to be redone on the inside because it's all popped. That's why I got these cheap, because they're all crushed. So now I've uncrushed them and can put them back together. So this is part 2 for the part 1, because I did not know how to use this phone. Still don't. Still learning. Sorry about that. But hopefully someone can get some good information out of this, and what they're looking for if they want to play an old harmonica. So I don't give enough information regarding the sound. I'll try this one. As you can see, this one, this core was broken, so that's one that didn't work. Again. I think that one had dust in it. Got caught in my moustache. Anyway, thanks for watching.